Guys, what is up? Pilot Manny here with the RC Plane Addict. I want to welcome you to my channel, a place where I share my passion and addiction for flying these beautiful RC planes. So today I thought we'd take a break from flying and get real and go over some safety. It's like the middle of the season here in Connecticut, and I feel like, everything's in full swing, but with that being said, I feel like some of us get a little comfortable with our ways and sometimes a little hasty with the things that we're doing. So I want to talk to you about battery safety today, which I feel is extremely important. I mean, these Lipos, believe it or not, are just like taking fire bombs, believe it or not. If you do everything safely and you're taking all the proper precautions, that still doesn't mean accidents can't happen, and they happen all the time. Point being, fellow club member, we're not going to name any names, reported that one of his, I think it was a 5-cell, 5,000 milliamp hour battery decided to just go up in flames in his basement while he was charging. He reported everything was charging as it should be. All the specs were running okay. And yeah, he doesn't know what happened. He wasn't even around. His wife had to tell him that she smelled fire down there, and he got down there and it was just a hot mess. And the fire had, thank God, not destroyed too much, but the battery was completely destroyed, and it could have been so much worse, point being. And this had been like one instance where he decided to charge in his basement instead of in the garage on the gravel or whatever hard surface that's like fire retardant that he normally does. So yeah, it can get pretty scary. So let's go over a few simple things that I think will help you, whether you're charging in your basement, if you're charging in your apartment, or you have a space outside or even in your garage that you can charge your batteries in. You should definitely be following these safe practices at all times. So let's go over a few really basic things. All right, first things first, you definitely want to make sure that you have some kind of container for your batteries. I'm using this cold case, Lipo guard. I got it from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. And what I like about this case is it's fairly large. I know it's fire retardant. Here it has, Lipo safe and some warnings. Never leave charging batteries unattended. Always ensure the battery is non-flammable surface. Ensure flaps is sealed while charging, and the Lipo safe is intended to reduce the chances of damage in the event of a fire. So this guy here will definitely be something you're going to want if you're charging indoors, and of course you're charging on a surface that may or may not be fire retardant. So what I like about this is that not only is it great for traveling with your batteries, but you can also charge your batteries inside. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I got a fairly large battery here. This is a 120C 6,000 milliamp hour 6-cell, and it's a decent sized battery. And when I put it in this case, as you can see, there's just plenty of space in here. And it also has this like little flap, this hole here, if you can see it, which is great because it completely seals closed. But when you're charging, you can stick your wires through there, and the battery is safe. So God forbid anything goes just terribly wrong, well, it's going to go wrong in this little case here, and that's basically what's going to happen. So this whole thing is going to be sealed up, zip closed, and then you can basically just kind of flap it closed the best you can and charge it in your case. And this is a great solution if you're charging in your apartment, or if you're charging in your basement, or someplace that you really can't charge outdoors or away from your home. This is what I suggest doing. It's like $13, $14, and it'll definitely protect you. All right, so the next thing you're gonna want is a fire extinguisher. There's a lot of different fire extinguishers out there. Any fire extinguisher is better than no fire extinguisher, but personally, I like the fire extinguishers that are like using the chemicals and they're just gonna kind of knock out anything. So I wouldn't look for the type of fire extinguishers that has, just for water. But yeah, you're gonna want the like all-purpose fire extinguishers. This is what I'm talking about. And, again, it's just for safety precautions. God forbid you need it. And also make sure that you're checking it every year to make sure that it's, one, not expired, and two, that it's charged. I know they need to be replaced every so often. So just keep an eye on that and make sure that you have a working fire extinguisher nearby so that, God forbid, anything happens, well, you're prepared. All right, the next thing you're going to want is a decent charger. This is a really old school charger. I got this years ago when I started charging my batteries. This is a Turnigy Power System AccuCell 6. I'm not even certain they still sell this. They have so many chargers on the market, but the point is that you have a charger that's going to meet the needs of your battery. So for example, this is a 4060C discharge 6 cell 22.2 volts. And it has this, what is it, XT90 on here. So you're going to need something that's going to meet it. So if I look at this charger here, on the side here, it says Lipo Li-Fi 1 through 6S. Okay, so that's definitely one you want to make sure you have there. And that here it says it has a max charge of 10 amps, a max discharge of 2 amps, and a discharge cycle 5. So this is an 80 watt 10 amp charger, and the biggest battery I have is a 6000. So if you're thinking about it in terms of amps, milliamp hours, that would be a 6 amp max charge. So this can do a 10 amp max charge, and it can do 6 cells. So it meets the need of my largest battery, which is I need. And then obviously it has here bullet connectors with my XT90s, with of course my balancing port. So everything works out well. The only thing this doesn't have is a power source. So I'm outside at the field and I'm using the field's power source. We have a solar power out here, which is awesome. So I'm able to kind of do everything what I need here. And then when I'm at home, I have a power source that's Turnigy as well. And it can serve 2 of these at the same time without blinking an eye. So that's my power system, and this is what I use when I'm at the field. And let me show you now how I charge them. The battery's in the case. I have everything hooked up to the charger here. As you can see, it is a little bit weird. I'm using an XT90 to an EC5, I think it is. It's okay. They adapt pretty well. The point is that the red goes to the red and the black goes to the black, and that's really what you want. I have my balancing port here into my 6S, and now I'm going to start charging. Now, generally speaking, you want to do a balanced charge, and you want to do it at 1C, which means that it's going to be whatever your milliamp hours divided by 1,000. So this is a 6,000 milliamp hour. So I'm going to want it at 6 amps. So I'm going to hit enter because I'm already set at Lipo battery here. And here you see that it's at 6 amps, which is equal to 1C of my battery. And then also I have it at 6S and Lipo balanced charge. And then I'm just going to hold enter here. It's going to check to make sure that's the right battery. And then I'm just going to go and let it start running. And now it is safely charging. It's in the battery case, so I don't have to worry about any fires or exploding batteries. And if I do, well, that's where it's all going to be contained. And my charger is doing the rest of the work, and it'll let me know when it's done. All right, last but not least, you want to make sure that you're storing your batteries properly. You can throw them in the case, put them someplace where you know there's not going to be a potential for a fire risk, which would be great, and next to that fire extinguisher, and put your batteries into storage mode. Usually that's about, I think it's like a 70% discharge, so you're at like 30% capacity. The chargers, most of them these days have storage mode, so you can just click it over instead of balance charge. You just put it into storage, and you don't have to think about it. It kind of just lowers them down. Usually what I do is I'll run my batteries out at the field, and then when I go to charge them, I actually put them in, I'll charge them up to storage mode and then put them back into my bag, and then I'm ready to go home and I don't have to worry about it. Then when I plan to fly again, I'll charge them back up to 100% and I'm good to go. All right, that's about it. So those are very, very basic guide or tips to making sure that you're charging and you're safely housing your batteries in your home, so there is a minimal chance of disaster. But again, like I said, these things are basically firebombs waiting to happen, unfortunately. Just make sure you're following your best practices when charging and storing your batteries, and God willing, you'll be all right. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Let them know what Pilot Manny's doing. I hope you guys stay safe. Cheers.